Well, I don't know if you guys remember, but a little while ago, I made a video about Bob Vylan and how he was the one that chanted death, death to the IDF, that one that went relatively viral. And well, he lost a lot of sponsors and venues canceled on him. He wasn't allowed to tour in certain places. I don't think he's allowed to go to America because of it. Loads of people were incredibly upset. And ladies and gentlemen, he didn't seem to learn his lesson from that. No, in fact, he's been doubling down ever since. And well, ever since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, this guy, this piece of you know what, has decided to celebrate Charlie's killing. There is a video that is going viral at the moment. There's now two videos going viral at the moment. One is the video of him celebrating Charlie's brutal murder. Let me show you that now, and I think you guys can feel the exact same disgust as I did when I watched it. Have a watch.
I want to dedicate this next one to an absolute piece of shit of a human being. The pronouns was, were. Because if you chat shit, you will get banned. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, you piece of shit.
So here's the thing. Bob Vylan has gone viral in the past for his really disgusting and horrible remarks, and he's going viral again for once again sharing his horrible, vile remarks. He's saying that Charlie Kirk was an absolute piece of you know what, SHIT. You know something, Bob Vylan? You're the actual piece of shit here, not Charlie. Charlie was a much better man than you. Charlie never wished or celebrated the murder or death of anyone, but here you are doing just that. You can tell a lot about a person by how they react to when someone dies, and he's saying pronouns was, were. You don't mean to tell me, Bob, that to me signals that you are actually celebrating Charlie's death. Because if you chat, you know what, you get banged, and you see the smile and the glee on that guy's face, and you see the members of the audience cheering and clapping. And then, ladies and gentlemen, there's another video that went relatively viral because Bob got called out. Bob got found out, and Bob was like, oh no, I didn't expect this kind of reaction from lots and lots of people. This is not right. So let me gaslight the living hell out of every one of you. Let me say that I wasn't actually celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Let me just say that it wasn't what you thought or saw at all. In fact, if you can find me a saying of me saying that I celebrated Charlie Kirk, see, that's what I mean. These dingbats seem to think that you've got to say that you're celebrating or you've got to cheer. No, you don't. You called him a piece of you know what. Then you said his pronouns was, were, while you were smiling. And then you said, if you talk, you know what, you get banged while you're smiling. You were gleefully doing it. That's called celebration of someone that's no longer here, Bob. Or weren't you aware of that? It's kind of like the Teal MP that tried to gaslight and tried to get out of liking a post that celebrated the fact that Charlie Kirk was killed. And then she goes, oh, by me liking the post, it doesn't really mean that I'm endorsing or that I agree with what this person says. I mean, you've got to be kidding me, right? But that's what the Teal MP did. Absolutely unbelievable. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Here is Bob Vylan's response. I don't even think that's really his name. I can't recall for the life of me what this dingbat's name actually is. But anyway, have a watch of what he had to say in gaslighting each and every one of you.
Yo, real quick. At no point during yesterday's show was Charlie Kirk's death celebrated. At no point whatsoever did we celebrate Charlie Kirk's death. I did call him a piece of shit. That much is true. But at no point was his death celebrated. If it was, go find me a quote, go find me something that proves that we were celebrating his death. You're not going to find it because it didn't happen. What did happen is one reporter that bought their ticket online came with the sole purpose of finding something to report. And after I called him a piece of shit and we played a song, they have written that up as a celebration. Not a celebration, isn't a celebration, wasn't a celebration.
At no point was yesterday's show was Charlie Kirk's death celebrated. No, none whatsoever. Mate, I just showed my audience a video of you celebrating his death, of you calling him a piece of you-know-what, and then saying his pronouns was, were. So if you weren't celebrating or you weren't making a mockery of him, why did you say any of those things? Why did you do any of that? So here's a difference, right? Here's Bob Vylan continuously gaslighting the living hell out of us at his show, the Palestinian flag behind him, because we all know how he feels about the situation in Gaza, right? He is a pro-terrorism supporter. So that's Bob Vylan. Now, on the other hand, you have Coldplay's Chris Martin sending love to Charlie Kirk's family. That's how the response should be, right? That's how people should be reacting. Not celebrating, not saying, oh, well, Charlie was this, Charlie said that, I disagree with him on this, I disagree with him on that. So therefore, that justifies the fact that someone got out a gun and shot him in the neck, does it? No. There are no buts in this equation. If somebody loses their life in a senseless way or just lose their life in general, you don't celebrate, you grieve and you mourn. I couldn't care less who it is, right? Unless that person is totally evil. For example, Hitler. I think everyone was glad that he was gone. But for someone like Charlie, who didn't have a racist bone in his body, wasn't any of the labels that the radical leftists love throwing out, you can always tell the radical leftists and some Muslims I've been seeing are celebrating his death. And I wonder why. Coldplay's Chris Martin, yeah, the guy has got some very crazy ideas about things. And I made a video of him, the way he reacted to the Israelis at his concert. But this is how you're supposed to react when someone, this is the humanity response. But obviously, Bob Vylan doesn't know anything about that. Paul Joseph Watson goes, I didn't celebrate his death. I just called him a piece of you-know-what, smiled while joking about him being dead and said, if you chat you-know-what, you will still get banged while making a gun with my hand. Okay, mate. Sure. So when the left celebrates someone's death or someone's murder, it's fine. Because according to them, nothing happened. Or if they like a post, it's not gaslighting. It's not wrong to do that. It doesn't mean that I'm endorsing it. It doesn't mean that I agree with it. Then why the hell did you like it? With your own damn account too. So when the left does it, no issue. When the right does it, mate. That's why I'm trying to get people to understand there's insanity and there's sanity. And there's lots of insane people out there in the world currently. Bob Vylan being one of them, and it wouldn't surprise me if he loses more because of this. People are getting fired because of their hateful remarks about Charlie Kirk. Damn well right. People are starting to realize that your actions have consequences. They are rather severe. And so they should be for being so demonic. When you are celebrating or worshiping someone's death for having a difference of opinion to you, you're demonic. Just pointing that out. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.